Okay guys, well this is another Mystery Teachings research notes, and so this is directed at those who are following the research into the ancient cultures and ancient mythology and have an understanding for the symbolism. Because as I say, it's only the people that are seeking the information that do have an understanding for the knowledge, and then they're the ones that gain the most benefit from what is being relayed in these videos. Otherwise it just remains interesting. You don't want it to just remain interesting. You want to fully understand it on every level. How profound this knowledge is, because it applies to you. It applies to your soul. And most importantly, it applies to your heart. And that is why I continue to relay information and relay knowledge, because I would like to see more people in the collective connect with the truth of who they are, because when they do, when they open the door to the inner kingdom, they illuminate. And so they then become another beacon for the collective. And this is why people that have this information and understand this information, you must know that you are now a protector of this knowledge. That's how you must view it. And you must protect it. So you must not just silently allow other information that is incorrect to go unchallenged around your environment if it crosses your path. You know, I have people on my Facebook feed that post things that out of the blue, I see they post something stupid. Well, I don't care if they've followed me for a year or whatever. If I don't agree with it, I'll address it. You know, if I think it's worthwhile. Sometimes I'll just remove them from my friends list because I think, well, you're just too far gone. You know, some people really are. They're too far gone. And so this is where we have to understand that we're not here to wake people up. I often repeat that when people say to me, oh, but I'm trying to wake people up. They just don't want to listen. Well, you know what? It's not about waking people up. It's about protecting the truth. It's about using your fifth chakra to stand in truth and to protect Mother Earth and protect the truth and protect what you deem worthy of protection. Not just silently allow it all to be destroyed around you. Okay? And until we find the courage to use our fifth chakra, well, we're not going to move up into the next level. You know, we're not going to make that trip along the path of Gimel and open the gate at Ketha and see the face of the Creator if we can't get our heart in alignment first. And this is why the establishment have done everything they can to take us away from our heart, to separate us. This is why this information is so important, especially to the black race and the red race. Because of all the knowledge that was destroyed, it was the black race and red race that, unfortunately, their knowledge and information was corrupted the most, to the point where they have no memory of who they are. And so when the white race descended upon them in lower consciousness to exert their mental will over foundation, because the tribe of the West and the tribe of the South are ruled by instinct and their connection to the Creator and foundation and Mother Earth, they are the ones to stay in law the longest. Especially the black race, because they are absolutely symbolized by God and his will upon foundation. Okay, this is God's never-ending, unchanging will upon foundation. This is also represented by the stone, the rock, which doesn't change. The law doesn't change. It's as solid, written in rock, as God's absolute word. That is what the pentacles represent. And so we can see, this is why we always see that it's the black race that adhere to the original teachings the longest. And so this is just a factor of lower consciousness that we all go through. And it's just that the mental aspect of the white tribe overrides, because they can utilize that mental activity to create a false reality, an artificial reality when we descend into lower consciousness, and to make it around them out of physicality by ruling mentally overall. And so they just overwhelm. And so this is what we see too. So, you know, white people don't feel guilty, all right? It's just the part of the creator that has that aspect. Same with black people, and same with yellow people, and same with red people. You know, it's we all have our attributes and our flaws, okay? Because this is how we're created. We weren't created perfect, because otherwise there'd be no experience. And so this is why we swing between the right and left, the positive, negative, okay? It's always this never-ending momentum between the two that keeps everything in existence in this, you know, cause and effect reality that creates experience for the divine intelligence, which is manifest through the tribe of the north, onto foundation, onto the tribe of Reuben, which is the red race, okay? And then we have the tribe of Ephraim and the tribe of Judah, the yellow race and the black race. And we see that these two attributes within these races are interchanged. And we can see that, you know, will can be transmuted into emotion. But emotion and feeling emotion can also inspire will to drive us to change things. And so we move between these aspects within all of us. And we have to look at this as a collective as well, because individually we hold all of this, okay? And so it's just when we look collectively, because we have to understand that the divine intelligence has fragmented onto foundation. And so this is a collective understanding, and this is why I say that it's up to the collective to remember who we are. And so this information needs to be shared and shown, because I feel really bad for the black race and the red race that they have really lost a lot of their memory. Not so much even the red race, who we've got the Hopi still and the Maya, but the black race, you know, I would really love more of them to understand that they have greatness within them too, because I think a lot of the hopelessness that we see around us at the moment in lower consciousness is because people just don't understand they're great, because they've bought the program that they're not. And so people of other ethnic groups who have nothing to aspire to are given this white guru that they have to relate to. And I mean, that's just not being authentic. They have their own kings and queens. They have their own princes and princesses. They have all that themselves. Every race does. And this is what we've got to remember again. And this is why I'll just keep talking this truth. And I just hope people keep sharing my videos. And I just, you know, you guys can download these videos too. And you can absolutely use them in your own, you know, kind of way to relay the same information. But you must stay true to the truth. You cannot deviate and use it for parts of what you want to prove something else. It has to stay in truth of what we're finding here, and with all the codes and with all the numbers and all the same meanings. They have to be current. But please feel free to continue, or to even take this information and do entirely different videos in your own style. Because that's what I'm saying. This is just information that I'm finding that belongs to us, but it can't be corrupted, and I won't allow it to be corrupted. If I do see people relaying this information in the wrong way, I will not be silent about it. But this is the information that has been left for us to understand who we are as a race of people. As a race of people. Not just, certain people that seem to be better or think they're better than others. Okay, because as I said, we're all part of the whole, okay? So we all count because we're all part of the Creator on foundation. So we can see this circle even representing the earth and the Creator on foundation, made up of 4 cubits. And as Leonardo's Vitruvian diagram says, 4 cubits make a man. Well, we know 1 cubit is 24, and then we know 24 in each of the races of the divine ones. So I will get this diagram done up and put it in the groups, but we are really starting to reveal all of the information now of what has been left to us. So really it is only up to us to inform ourselves, because I can just keep relaying the same information and decoding the same paintings and decoding the same diagrams, but it is the same information over and over again. I just love this find in Vitruvian man, or this Vitruvian diagram, because it just really puts it visually how we can see that the Creator is manifest onto foundation within the 4 races. And it makes up the complete man. We make up our complete selves. And so we have just forgotten who we are. And as I say, that's why I really did want to make this video and just, say that people really need to get this information out, especially to certain cultures, because a lot of them there is no hope. And so you can be a guide and a teacher if you understand this information implicitly. It is not something you want to take on lightly if you want to teach this subject. But if you do want to take on a role, an important role here, and start, informing people and showing them the truth of who they are, then please do. But as I said, I am not one that thinks going and preaching to people is really what should be done with this information. It's just a matter of relaying it in any way you want to express your 5th chakra. And if your light attracts others, then they're meant to find your information. And that's how we see it. And that's why I say it's not about waking people up. It's just about speaking the truth, because you want to do your bit for the collective that are already awake, okay? Because we're out there, all right? And so if you want to keep that lantern, glowing brighter, well, more of us have to start relaying this information to others, because we interact consciously as well, okay? So I also wanted to just show you guys a little bit more about the Tuatha De Danann, which is the basically Irish version of the Divine Ones and the tribes of Israel, and it's called the Tuatha De Danann in the Irish mythology, in the Celtic mythology. And we have the sword of Nuada, the spear of Lug, the cauldron of Dagda, and the stone of Fal, all the same, representing the 4 different messiahs and the 4 different tribes. And so what I wanted to bring you was just the properties of each of these tribes. And so the tribe of Nuada were the sword of light, and that corresponds to the tribe of Dan, tribe of the north, eagle, Kether, spades, and the properties within the Irish mythology of the sword of light were that no one could ever escape from it once it was drawn from its sheath, and no one could resist it. And then we have the spear of Lug, which is corresponding to wands, corresponding to Reuben, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Man, long-armed, skilled warrior, and the properties was no battle was ever sustained against it or against the man who held it. Then we have over here the cauldron of Dagda, which is equated to cups, an Ephraim, and the properties were that no company ever went away from it unsatisfied. And so that's just like a never-ending fountain of love. Okay, and this is no battle was ever, the Creator can never be destroyed on foundation. Humans will never destroy ever. And this is what it's showing, that there's always going to be a part of the Creator on foundation, and this is why no battle may take a lot of losses, may sustain a lot of, losses, but they will not defeat. And this is what the Spear of Lug represents in the Creator. And then we have the Stone of Destiny, which is equating to the tribe of Judah. And this is the representation, as I've said, the will of the Creator on foundation, the unchanging law that never changes. And the properties roared with joy and became magical when the right king placed his foot upon it. So that's basically showing that the right king placing his foot upon the Stone of Destiny, that when the light of the Creator returns, it is in law that the stone will roar once again. Now, I was going to do a bit of a decode on these two crosses here, but I might leave that for next time. I particularly just wanted to look at the silver and gold, because I wanted to show you this in relation to the ages and how we go down from the beginning of consciousness, and then when we reach the second gate, it's the silver gate, and then we descend from there to where we are now before we're about to go back through the golden gate. So I just found that interesting because this one is from Manly P. Hall, and so they're very similar, and they're also incorporating the same information that we're finding in the Vitruvius diagram, and that is about the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, guys, well, I'll leave it here, and as always, peace out.